NBA regular season has officially started last night, and I couldn't be more excited. I mean, we finally have basketball back again. And last night, the NBA kicked it off with two marquee matchups as always. We got to see the Boston Celtics and the 76ers in the first game, and then we got to see the reigning NBA champions, the Golden State Warriors, on ring night against the Lakers. And I'm not trying to really overreact. I mean, this probably is an overreaction video, honestly, but we might be in for a finals rematch because the Celtics and the Warriors, they look really good. They look like they're in mid-season form already. The Warriors don't look like they had a championship hangover. But yeah, they look great. In the first game with the Celtics and the 76ers, we saw the Celtics come out with the win 126-117. The story of the night, we got to see Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown combined for 70. Both had 35. They made a statement that they're the best duo wings in the league. I mean, yes, you have Kawhi, you have Paul George, but these guys just came off a finals run. They were 2 wins away from being NBA champions. They showed right out the gate that they're still them. I mean, with Jayson Tatum, we saw the side steps, we saw the mid-range, we saw the tough finishes, and he had PJ Tucker as his primary defender all game. I mean, PJ Tucker, we know what he brings. He's going to make it hard for you, and Jayson Tatum came out swinging. You know, they started on a 9-2 run, I believe, and, you know, they were in the lead for most of the game, and then they finally got more space at the end. But yeah, I mean, with the Celtics, I was having concerns or just interested in how they would play without Robert Williams because, I mean, we got news that he's not going to play until the second half of the season in 2023. And especially tonight, I want to see how that was going to be playing against, you know, an MVP candidate, my favorite for the MVP, Joel Embiid. They're not having their defensive anchor, a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year in Robert Williams, but they played well against Joel Embiid. Yes, Joel Embiid ended with 26, but if you watch the game, it was a tough 26, and Joel Embiid, you know, historically, the Celtics do really well on him. They make it hard for him. I mean, we saw Horford, he was banging bodies with him. Grant Williams was trying to get it early with him. He got those early fouls, but he was playing tough on him. And then we got to see Noah Vonleh. I mean, a name we don't really talk about much. You know, I was kind of surprised he was on the Celtics, you know, that they picked him up, but, you know, he played well. He even took a shot from Embiid, took an elbow to the mouth, took one for the team. But no, they played really well on Embiid. Like, it was a tough night for him when it came to that. He had some buckets here and there, but mostly he had to earn that 26. And let's talk more about the Celtics. I mean, the big acquisition, Malcolm Brogdon, played well today, was 7 for 11, had 16 points. I mean, he wasn't forcing anything. He was getting cuts. He was doing a good job playmaking, and that's what we really talked about the Celtics was they need a playmaker. Yes, Marcus Smart has those playmaking abilities, and when he went to that point guard position, he did a pretty solid job. But Malcolm Brogdon is a more natural playmaker. And we saw that last night. He played a really good game. I mean, I know it's just the first game, but he played a really solid game. Two-way point guard. You know, he's a sixth man. I believe he's going to eventually be that starting point guard for them. But nonetheless, he's going to play starter minutes. Malcolm Brogdon just got to stay healthy. Played really well out the gate. And, you know, this is a team that went to the finals. Just added another great piece. They just need to see Robert Williams back. But yeah, let's go to the Sixers side. I mean, you had good performances from both Embiid and Harden. But I think what everyone's going to talk about is just they're very stagnant. And I had them as my East favorites. I should have expected that. Yes, it was going to be very stagnant because we know Embiid. They're going to force feed him. They're going to get him in ISO situations. Same with James Harden. You know, he was getting his bag, and he played a good game. I mean, he was keeping them in the game in the first quarter. I think he had like 15 or 16 points in the first quarter. I could be wrong, but he played really well, got to the line. I mean, we saw him do his patented step back, and he was being sent to the free throw line. They're fouling him on that. I mean, I don't know what's like defending James Harden, but I feel like, you know, you shouldn't get him to the free throw line on that move. But yeah, James Harden played a good game. He came out playing really well, playmaking. But yeah, with the offense, it's very stagnant. I like Tyrese Maxey. He's part of that big three, and I want to see him be more involved early. And he was kind of frozen out because they would ISO one side for James Harden and Embiid. But then in the second half, Tyrese Maxey started shooting more, getting more looks. He still ended up with 21. But yeah, I definitely want to see Tyrese Maxey more involved in the offense because, yes, it's stagnant. And even though you are posting up Joel Embiid, you should get him the ball more. I want to see a little bit more movement on the opposite side, see more cuts, see more movement, see more continuity with this team. And another thing with the Sixers that I vouched for why they were going to be title favorites was their bench. You know, they just added D'Anthony Melton. They added Montrezl Harrell and they did not get, if anything, they did not get any production from the bench. I mean, Montrezl Harrell had 2, D'Anthony Melton had 5. I mean, there was not much bench production. I definitely feel like it's going to get better. I mean, Montrezl Harrell tried to get it early in the post, but, you know, there wasn't much production. So, I mean, it was still, even though it was like they lost by a considerable margin, you know, Sixers, I'm not too worried about them. I think their bench is going to continue to get better. They're still messing with lineups. You know, we didn't see Korkmaz, Milton. We saw a little bit of Matisse. But, you know, we saw a lot of the free agency pickups they got play. So, you know, it's definitely going to be interesting how they mix up the matchups. I know Doc Rivers talked about that not everyone's going to play, and they have guys that should get playing time. So we'll definitely see what happens with that Sixers bench, see what happens with their lineups, and, you know, that's all I have for that game. Now for the second game, we saw the Warriors take down the Lakers 123-109. I mean, with the Warriors, I think the story of the night is going to be Stephen Curry having 33 points. But honestly, it was a great team win. I was very impressed with how the whole team played. I mean, yes, it started Steph. I mean, he had a slow first half for Steph, but then third quarter, fourth quarter, he went off. He had that behind the back, up and under Anthony Davis, and right after that, he had the 4-point play on Patrick Beverley. I mean, Steph's going to be Steph. Then when we talk about Klay, yes, he was on like a minutes restriction. He was only supposed to play 18 to 20 minutes, which is what we saw. But he played well in the minutes he played. I mean, we saw him in the beginning of the second half start with 7 points right away. Then he had a nice dump down for the N1 finish for, I think it was Draymond. I could be wrong. But no, yeah. Klay Thompson played well in the minutes he played. Draymond had that triple single, 5-5-5. Draymond, you know, he looks well. Obviously, there's a cloud over the Warriors, but, you know, he played well. And then when we talk about Jordan Poole, the man just got paid. You know, he didn't have, like, the best shooting performance, you know, by all means, but playmaking was there. He had some good, nice balance passes. Found Wiseman, found Steph on the back door. Jordan Poole, you know, yes, he's like that sixth man. He's the favorite for being sixth man of the year. But Jordan Poole, I call him the sixth starter because he is. He is the sixth starter of this team. With the Warriors, they're legit 6 deep. One guy that was really like locked in on and trying to see how he's played. Like, I was excited to see Wiseman out there again. You know, it was our first time seeing Wiseman play in a regular season game since he got hurt. And he played well. He finished with 8 points, 7 rebounds, was finishing the ball, catching the ball, which is what I want to see. But yeah, he's going to keep continuing to get better. You know, like I said, this is his first regular season team against, you know, Anthony Davis, against a solid defensive unit that, you know, trying to really make their identity as a defensive team. But yeah, James Wiseman played well. He had a block. You know, he played as well as he could, really, in his first game. And then the 2 new additions, you know, I was really excited to see these guys. And, you know, I was impressed with how they played. JaMychal Green, they got him because of defense, rebounding, and shooting the 3, and he did all 3. JaMychal Green, a very underrated pickup across the whole league. The Warriors, you know, lost Otto Porter, and JaMychal Green, you know, he's in that new spot where he can play that stretch 4 position. And he gave the Warriors second chance opportunities, had 5 rebounds. I was really impressed with JaMychal Green. And also Dante DiVincenzo. I mean, he's like that second point guard off the bench, third point guard off the bench, you know. I mean, there's Jordan Poole, obviously he can play the point guard, but we saw DiVincenzo play with Jordan Poole in the backcourt. And then Jordan Poole can just focus on scoring with this unit. Dante, he can set the offense. He played good defense, hit some shots. You know, I like how both of the Warriors' new additions, Dante DiVincenzo and JaMychal Green, played last night. And then when we talk about, like, I don't want to say he played the worst out of that bench unit because that's like a negative connotation around it. But Kuminga, he had 0 points, but defensively he was there. I mean, he played well. He saw the hustle. That's how he's going to get on the floor, by hustling, play good defense. I mean, Kuminga, you know, it's just the first game. He's going to have hopefully he's going to have a good year this year. And then even with Moses Moody, I mean, he was a 6th man off the bench. I was like interested to see like how he was going to play. I don't know if he was going to play right away with that second unit, but they had the second unit in and then they put Moses Moody last. But Moses Moody played a really good game. He came out slinging right away. I mean, he finished with 8 points. Moses Moody was right at the way, showing that confidence, even though he was last guy off the bench or last guy for that second unit. He was playing really well. You know, I liked how Moses Moody played. But yeah, if we go to the Lakers, I mean, I think it's obvious what I'm probably going to say with like their glaring weakness. It's the shooting. I mean, it's not there. It's just like last year. It's very crowded there, especially with the Warriors, you know, high IQ defensive team. I mean, most defenses are going to play like this, but they're packing the paint. You know, even though Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, they all had good games. It's still tough to watch them really offensively. They don't have that floor spacer. They had Lonnie Walker starting there, had Patrick Beverley. We didn't see much of Patrick Beverley because he was in foul trouble, but he was taking some tough shots. Lonnie Walker didn't shoot lights out. I mean, we don't know him as a shooter yet, at least. They were 10 for 40 from the three-point line. That's something they got to address. I mean, they had Matt Ryan. They had him play a lot. You know, he's a good shooter, but not a proven shooter yet. They had him slinging, had him shoot like Duncan Robinson coming off. I like the confidence, what I saw, but this Lakers team needs a solidified shooter. They need a proven shooter in this league, and that's what they don't really have yet. I mean, that big three, are we calling it a big three? That big three of AD, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook, they can all have 30, each of them. That's only 90 points. They got to figure out where else they're going to get the production from, because they don't have Carmelo anymore. I mean, Kendrick Nunn, I like Kendrick Nunn's game. Kendrick Nunn had a pretty solid game. I like him at that 6-man role, but they need to figure out where else they're going to get that scoring from, where they're going to get that shooting from. Because, I mean, we saw with Anthony Davis, they're packing the paint on him. LeBron James, too. I mean, he was able to still get, 31 points. But, I mean, it was some tough buckets, and they're going to have to try to address that concern right now because they don't have that shooting. But defensively, I mean, it's tough. It's a tough matchup. It's the Warriors, one of the best offenses in the league. They're the reigning champions. We can't judge it off that game because it's the Warriors. It's the Lakers' first game together, you know, with their new additions. So, you know, the defense is going to get better. That's what they're going to hang their hat on. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you can really hang your hat on defense every night. You're going to have to get some offensive production from other guys. You're going to need to have that shooting. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm going to talk about the Lakers a lot, so let me chill out right now. You know, it's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. You know, finally glad basketball is back again. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, comment. We're finally at 100 subscribers. The 100 subscriber special is coming soon. And, you know, hope you guys have a good day. But yeah, until next time, peace.